Okay, I'm gonna do one last video now. One last little video. First of all, let me say thank you to all my new subscribers. I have no idea where y'all came from. Thank you to the people that's been sharing my videos too. Some of y'all been sharing my videos. I be get the little notifications and things. Also, YouTube don't play no Baker Creek ads on my stuff. YouTube, get that together. Let's see what else, y'all. What can we talk about today? Let's talk about grafting. Let's talk about that. My back itching. Okay. So I want to talk about grafting and maybe why you should think about grafting if you haven't done so. Some instances where grafting may be beneficial. Okay, now we all know we go to the big box stores and sometimes they sell us, these trees and things. And, sometimes you don't research everything right then and you'll buy something and you think it's okay for your area and it's not. Either it needs too many chill hours or, for instance, cherries don't grow well in the South. They need too many chill hours. No, let me take that back. They will grow. They will not fruit because they need a bunch of chill hours. That's why you see a lot of people in the South growing Barbados cherries. If you live in the North and you get enough chill hours, by all means, you need to grow a regular cherry. I haven't found a true cherry because a Barbados cherry is not a true cherry. It's a cherry-like fruit that doesn't need chill hours to fruit. If anybody knows of a cherry that grows in the South that'll give you cherries, please tell me because I don't know of one. I would like to have one. But same thing with certain plums, pears, and apples. If they do not have enough chill hours, they won't fruit for you. So let's say you bought that tree, you didn't know that. Well, and you've planted it, it's got an established root, like the tree grows well, it doesn't fruit or it doesn't give you much fruit. Well, your next best bet would be to get you some cuttings and then graft onto that tree. See what I'm saying? That would be your best bet. And graft on a variety that's more conducive to where you live. Maybe it doesn't need as many chill hours. Maybe you just don't like the way the fruit tastes. Graft over it. You have an established root stock. Don't let that go to waste. Just graft over it. And graft on varieties that you either want to try or you think you may like or whatever. Or maybe you don't have a ton of space. And therefore, you can graft several things on one tree. You can have several varieties on one tree, or in the case of pears and apples, I hear you can actually graft them to each other. I'm going to try to graft an apple scion to my pear, and I'm going to try to graft a pear scion to my apple. I'm going to see, do it take? Because I've seen it done before, and they say apples and pears are close enough that you can do it. Because how many of y'all knew this? Apples and pears and all that stuff is in the rose family. So they're kin to roses, which I found to be interesting. But anyhow, that's another reason is something that Army Chickadee pointed out. You may have a tree that it can't pollinate itself, therefore it may flower, but it's not going to make fruit because it can't pollinate itself. Or you may have an instance to where this cat creeping up on me. Y'all hear his little footsteps? You need to make up your mind, sir. Anyway, you have a tree that can't pollinate itself, and maybe you don't have room for another tree, or you don't want to buy another tree because trees are expensive. Cuttings are much more cost effective than buying whole trees. You can get cuttings for $10. Trees in my area are starting at, with tax, $35 and up. So instead of having a million different trees, you could graft, or maybe your pocketbook, you know what I'm saying, get your $10, you can graft you another variety on that same tree, and now that you have two different varieties on that tree, they can pollinate each other, and therefore they will then get fruit. Once again, the space thing, if you ain't got space but for one apple, one pear, and one peach, well, you may want more than one variety. Well, you could graft lots of different varieties on one tree. You know what I'm saying? A tree, as many branches as you can have on that tree, that's as many varieties as you can have on that tree. So there are a lot of great reasons to graft. Also, you could be somewhere away from home somewhere, and maybe you see a wild variety of something or a rare variety of something, or maybe you don't know really what it is. You were somewhere and tasted some fruit. You could be at someone's home, on somebody else's property, just whatever, and you may have tasted, some of the fruit, and you say, "Oh, that tastes good." Well, you could get you a cutting and go home and graft it on. Like, for instance, if it's a pear, "Oh, I like this pear. I've never had it before." You may not even know what it is, but you just like it. Get it and graft it on your stuff, and now you can have it at home, and you don't have to continually go wherever you're going. Or you never know, sometimes you can go somewhere, you come back and they done cut all the trees down, and you know what I'm saying, and whatever that was, you don't exactly know what it is. You may not ever get it again. But grafting, now that I've grafted and I see that it's not that hard, and it actually is very economical, and it works in cases where you don't have, a million acres to have a million trees. Also, grafting is just, it's kind of fun, because, like, you ever seen those, and see, this is another money making scheme. You ever seen those trees that got all them different varieties on them that you buy, and you know how expensive those trees are? Well, to be fair, you really could do that at home, and you may could sell you a couple of them trees. I'm just saying, if you took a little time, and it would be a little project, but if you had a tree that, it had a nectarine and a plum, like one of those stone fruit trees with all the different stuff, it have a peach on it, a nectarine on it, a plum on it. You start with something, graft the stuff on, you grow it to all right size. Those trees, I forget what they call them with all that different stuff on them. They're not cheap. They're the more expensive ones. I think the cheapest one I ever saw was $70-something. Now watch this. Maybe you sell yours for $60. Maybe you sell it for $50. Because I know some of y'all got 3 or 4 different trees in the yard. You can graft all that stuff, get your little piece of rootstock and graft all that stuff onto there. You can make you one of them little trees and probably cut all the stuff off of your stuff in the yard. If you've been gardening for a while, if you got trees or whatever. But there's just a bunch of stuff you can do with this stuff. Also, and I'm talking about grafting fruit trees, but keep in mind, you can graft your, like, these bushes, these camellias and gardenias, and you can graft those. You can root them as well. They will air layer and root just like a fruit tree will. So if you have different flowering shrubs and bushes and stuff, what's stopping you from maybe grafting on some different, like, for instance, if you had an azalea, it would be pretty if you take an azalea and you get cuttings off of these other ones that's different colors and graft them on, and when your azalea bloom, it's 4 different colors. I see, that would be different. And I may try that with mine, because I got a neighbor down the street got some white azaleas and somebody else got some red ones. See, I got the pink ones. And so that's something that you could play around with, and you could do that. Same thing with the gardenias. There's more than one kind of gardenia. I have the one with the big flowers. My neighbor across the street has the one with the small flowers. Now, they smell the same, but they look different. They're both white. But I guess if you wanted that look, the one with the big flowers and the small flowers, you could potentially graft those. And this kind of spins off of the propagating video I did. Same thing, you could root those. If you got these shrubs, why won't you root those cuttings and sell that? Same thing with these roses. But you root this stuff and sell it. I'm just trying to tell you, man, I guess maybe because I'm such a hustler, but don't ever sleep on your little hustles that you can have. So if you haven't tried grafting, tell me in the comments, are you willing to try it? Is it something you thought of trying, something you never thought about trying? you have no clue what it is and how to do, just tell me about it. I would like to know, what are y'all thoughts? This is my first year grafting, and I can now say that I'm successful. The video should be coming out soon where I show y'all me grafting, but even at that time I didn't show y'all, but I was successful. I don't think I have any grafts that have failed yet, but we're gonna see. The time go on, some of them may fail, but I'm pretty confident in the vast majority of them, whereas when I started I was not confident in them, and I wasn't feeling it at first. But now that I've done it, I like it, and I see where it could come in handy and where it could go, because now when I look at my garden, especially the fruit trees, the big tree that eventually I know is going to die, I feel confident that I could take limbs and graft it onto this tree, and I also could root some of the limbs, and if that tree dies I can replace it with its own clone. I'll probably do like a big air layer. That's probably what I'm gonna do later on this season, and try to take y'all with me and show y'all, because I got some water sprouts on that tree. I think I got like 3 big water sprouts. And if y'all want to know what water sprouts, so I can do a video on that or talk about it a little bit in another video. But I think I got 3 big water sprouts that I'm gonna air layer, and that way I make sure that I don't lose that tree, because I do like the pears in that tree. So thank y'all for watching. Until next time, see you guys later.